Vertically opposite angles. Whenever two straight lines intersect, the vertically opposite angles are equal. We have two lines AD and CB intersecting at O. At O, four angles have been formed. And if you want to see what we're talking about when we speak about vertically opposite angles, we have O1 equal to O3. This is known as a vertically opposite angles. We have O2 in green here and O4. Those two angles are equal because they are vertically opposite angles. Can I just shift it over so you can all see what I mean? That O2 is equal to O4 and O1 is equal to O3. Now let's look at some examples. The first example we're going to look at, where they ask us to calculate y. We have two lines intersecting, and that means that we have vertically opposite angles. Y is vertically opposite to 105 degrees. And so, what do we know? We know that this angle is equal to this angle. Y is equal to 105 degrees, and my reason is vertically opposite angles. That's already one example down. Let's go to the next one. We have two lines intersecting. We have 158 degrees is vertically opposite to 2x plus 40 degrees. And what did we learn earlier? Is that 2x plus 40 is equal to 158 degrees. They are vertically opposite to each other, so they are equal to each other. My reason, vertically opposite angles. I have an equation and I need to separate the x's from the constants. So 2x will remain on the left hand side equals to, my 158 is already on the right hand side. I transpose my 40 and it becomes minus 40 degrees. 2x equals to 158 minus 40 is 118 degrees. Take note, pupils, 2x divided by 2 is equal to 118 divided by 2. I divided both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. 2x divided by 2 is equal to x, equals to 118 divided by 2 is 59 degrees. Now let me just turn over and show you, and we're still busy with the same sun, but look what happens. We managed to find out what was x, but we have another two unknowns. We have y and z that we do not know. Now, we know that z is equal to y, but what is the value of them? If you block out, can you see? I block out the rest of the angles, and you are left with y and 158 degrees. Can you see that those two angles lie on a straight line? That means that we can use the reason that y plus 158 degrees is equal to, that's right, 180 degrees. Why? Because they are adjacent, right? Adjacent angles on a straight line. Or you could have said they are adjacent supplementary because they add up to 180 degrees. We have an equation y plus 158 equals to 180. I need to transpose my positive 180 and it becomes 180 minus 158 degrees. y equals to 22 degrees. Now I know that this angle is 22 degrees. So, what can you tell me? Yes, z is equal to y. That's right. Z, these two are opposite each other. They are equal to each other, and now are equal to 22 degrees. My reason, they are vertically opposite angles. Well done, grade 8s, if you got that. Now this one looks a little complicated, but it surely isn't. Let's look at what we've given. We're given two lines intersecting. I can label them A, B, C, D. Can you see those two lines that are intersecting? AB is intersecting CD. And then we've got another line drawn that separates those two angles. But let's work with what we have in the beginning. My first step is to block out. You see, I can't really work out. I could actually work out this, but I'm going to block out to find out what is B. Now, B is not vertically opposite to any. There's no angle there, so I can't use vertically opposite angles. But I can block out that angle, and I get AB is a straight line. B and 110 lie on that straight line. Therefore, I can find B. Why? Because those two angles are adjacent supplementary angles or adjacent angles on a straight line. So to find B, I can say B plus 110 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Angles, adjacent angles on a straight line. We have an equation. I'm separating. I need to solve for B. So B equals to 180. Transpose the 110 becomes minus 110 degrees. Therefore, B is 70 degrees. This angle here is 70 degrees. Let's continue. What do we know? We know that this line and that line are vertically opposite angles. That means that 110 is equal to these two angles, the sum of those two angles. So it's 110 is equal to 20 degrees plus the 2a. 2a plus 20, which is vertically opposite angles. When I transpose my 20, I get 110 minus 20, which is equal to 2a. 110 minus 20 is 90 degrees, equals to 2a. I need to solve for a, so that means I need to divide by the coefficient of a, which in this case is 2. Divide both sides by 2. 90 divided by 2 is 45 degrees, equals to 2a divided by 2 is 1a.